So thank you once again for joining us for another Open Doorway Spiritualist Community Service. This is the second of the month, and feels like we've been doing this online thing forever, but it's coming up on, in March it will be, or maybe even a little after March, it would be a year that we've been doing this online thing. So, and it's been doing very well. We've had a lot of participants over the span of the year. So, but I know it takes a lot to sometimes join these things because our lives are so busy. So I appreciate it. With that said, we will open the service with a opening prayer. So just close your eyes for a moment and we will pray. Divine Parent, we honor you and ourselves for being present here. We open our hearts and minds to receiving your healing energy and wisdom. Open our eyes and minds to the divinity of our spiritual selves, and let us further your love and light to others. Amen. And I tell everybody when I do this, I keep my desktop pretty tidy for you guys. Just for you. There we go. Oh, it's a bit wild. There we go. So if you would care to join in reading along the Spiritualist principles with me, please do. I will try to go slow so that everybody can follow along. I generally say when we do say and read the Spiritualist principles out loud, I like everybody to join along with me as best as they can, because I believe in the law of intention, and us reading it in unison together not only gives these principles their intention, but gives them more power and puts it out into the world, because everything has energy. So do your best to follow along, and I of course will go slow. We subscribe to the following principles: infinite intelligence, the deity, the designing and creating energy for everything in the universe. One universe, many dimensions. From one source came all that is present in our world, our galaxy, and beyond. The immortal soul. The soul is eternal. We seek truth within ourselves, from other souls, from sacred writings, and from the natural order that sustains us. Communication between the material and the non-material world. Spirit transcends all dimensions. All souls, flesh, and spirit communicate with each other. Personal responsibility. Cause produces effect through thoughts, words, and deeds. We create ourselves and our circumstances, and we are singly responsible for our choices and creations. The golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is our highest morality. Thank you all. I often tell people that are curious about spiritualism as a faith that we are a faith that has very little dogma, and a lot of the writings are people that who are spiritualists or identify as spiritualists and just have taken it upon themselves to write about spiritualism and all that is involved in it. But as a belief system, that's those 7 to, in our case, 6, 7 to 9 principles that you will commonly find in spiritualist communities. That's all the dogma we have. I pull out my 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 minister's card, which has been given to me because I'm an ordained minister, and all principles are located on the back of this tiny little business card, and I get to show people, oh, here's what we believe in if you're curious, and they can just read it within 5 minutes. But that, I just wanted to share that little side note because I really, it brings me a lot of joy being able to do that for people. And one little small thing that, I guess tickles me about being a spiritualist is that, oh, here's our beliefs on a little card. As opposed to if you go to, any other faith, they'll hand you a book or several books or volumes of books. You're like weighted by books and scripture and do this or do that. But we're very simple. Anyways, let's prepare for meditation. So just close your eyes, wiggle in your chair or couch or bed, wherever you find yourself. And we're going to start relaxing our bodies. In Janet's case, fixing her hair. Yep, there you go. But yeah, take a few deep breaths in and really just breathe out any stress or any worries that you've collected today. Maybe any stresses or worries that you collected from the week. If you want to, you can even lie down if you have the ability to. I won't promise you wake up after. Take a few deep breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. Really feel the pass of the air through your lips. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. You're beginning to relax. Your shoulders, your neck, relaxed. Your arms and your hands, any tension there is fading away. Any tension in your feet and legs, that also begins to fade. And a calming hum begins to play. There's healing in this vibration. This feeling of floating comes upon you. You feel weightless. You feel lighter. feel calm and at peace. Imagine yourself on a beach. Small particles of sand beneath your feet. Any aches or pains that were there are being massaged and caressed away by the sand and small pebbles that you come across. You hear the crashing waves against the shore. It's quiet other than this noise, this crash of water. You admire this beautiful scenery around you, the expansive ocean, the long and winding stretching beach. Behind you, the tree line. Darkened by long, stretching branches of trees. As you continue to walk along the beach, feeling the cool, healing water, brush up against your feet. Decide to sit there for a while. Take in the ocean. Feel the energy of the water. You feel a force with this water, an energy. Of love and healing. At first, the water is cold to your feet as you sit at the beach's edge. But after a few moments, it begins to warm. You feel the vibration from this water. Convinces you maybe I should go in deeper. It's warm, calming. And you feel this pull. Not a pull of the water, but a pull of force. Pull of energy. You go deeper. Slowly walk in and let the water come up to your shins, up to your knees, up to your waist. Up to your chest. You stop. It feels warm, comforting, as though a mother pulled you into her arms and gave you a hug. Water surrounding your entire body. Feel healing energy, vibration in the water around you. Take a moment to lean back, close your eyes, and float in this healing water. Let the mother energy of the ocean heal your aches, your pains, your worries of mind. And let the healing energy of nature envelop you. After a few calming moments of healing, floating in the water, you feel the pull back to land. Stand up, walk to shore, being present as the water around you begins to lower. Past your chest, past your stomach and waist, past your knees, and then past your feet. Look back on the ocean. Be memorized by its beauty and its expansiveness. Take in all the healing energy that it provided you. Put two hands clasped together in prayer. Give gratitude to Mother Ocean for giving this healing to you, for bestowing this gift of life and love. As you bow your heads in quiet prayer to give gratitude, you see a shell, at your feet. A beautiful, twisting, iridescent shell. Size of quarter between your feet. Pick it up knowing that it is a gift given to you by Mother Ocean. Telling you to keep that energy for yourself going forward, to keep it in your heart. In your everyday lives. Feeling blessed, extending that gratitude, decide to leave the beach and walk towards the tree line. Smiling, as though you've met a friend. When you're ready, you can start feeling the feeling in your fingertips and toes, sensation of your legs and arms. Come back, feel your shoulders, and when you're ready, you may open your eyes and come back to the room that you had just left. So we'll close out the meditation. I hope it was a relaxing one for everybody and healing. A little different today. I ask everybody to join along in reading the prayer for spiritual healing with me. We ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from our minds and bodies and to restore us to perfect health. We ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and we will do our part. We ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. We put our trust in the love and power of Spirit. Amen. Well, this is the next portion of our service, which is, I would say, has become one of my favorite things to do of late, is picking out something that we should turn our eyes and attention towards. So, as I've explained many times before, but we have some fresh faces to our services. We have felt more comfortable as an organization, as a community, since our financial overhead has not been as daunting during these times, that we would instead of asking for a small donation to us, that we would turn your attention, your eyes, and focus towards charities, nonprofit organizations, and just causes that we feel need our attention, as well as financial support, and maybe even physical support from you. But today, for this service, I decided to pick the Food Bank for New York City. It's an organization that I'm sure those who have lived in New York City or live in New York City are well aware of the Food Bank for New York City. It is one of the largest, if not the largest, food bank in New York City. And it supplies so much food and support to low income and homeless, and to those that truly need the food and supplies that is readily available for us. And I feel as that if we were all to contribute some, even $1 or $5 or $10, that it would make a difference for a family. And they even said on their website, which I recommend checking out, thefoodbanknyc.org. It is an amazing website. It's so simple and so fun to kind of just browse around, and they give you 15 different ways that you can help the Food Bank for New York City. And it's been the only nonprofit organization or charity organization that has had 15 different ways to help them. And so there's many ways you can help the Food Bank for New York City if money isn't how you communicate your support. So check it out. I really recommend it. But they did say on the website that $1 provides 5 meals for a family. So just $1 provides 5 meals. That's amazing. And I know that right now, a lot of food banks, in addition to charities, are really struggling during COVID-19. And a lot of the staff and faculty of these organizations are working double or overtime just because they're not allowed to take physical volunteers anymore because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So funds, food, even just communicating to neighbors and friends that we should support this cause and provide meals and relief to those that are hurting. So they've been around for 36 years, so they must be doing something right. And I've most definitely come across them many times in just working at a grocery store. So take a look at foodbanknyc.org, wonderful organization, and contribute and support if you so choose, knowing that it will come back to you. You will receive that tenfold from Spirit, the universe. All right. So I'm sure all of you are well aware of the lecture portion of the service, and this one is a little bit special. I will go into my spiel about manifestation, and then we'll do an exercise together. So if everybody wanted to take a moment to maybe grab a pen, pencil, paper, an envelope, if they have it if they have that handy, but that's not necessary. Just a pen and paper, or if you don't have either, just try to do this little practice or work manifestation exercise in your mind. But I feel as the intention is really important when you put it down on paper. At least the intention is to manifest it if you write it down, but it's okay if you don't. So, anytime we discuss manifestation, as a technique and action to perform in our lives, we must study the law of attraction. Maybe a show of hands for anybody that has heard of the law of attraction. Yeah, if you deal with any, I think if you deal with any spiritual work or have been to any spiritual community or of any denomination, you probably have heard of the law of attraction. Well, manifestation is that practice of the law of attraction, and in that belief as well. The law of attraction is a metaphysical law that determines, simply put, like attracts like. This law dates back to the New Thought movement of the early 19th century, tracing much of its origins with the mentalist and mesmerist Phineas Quimby, which is a wonderful name. If you're not aware of mesmerists or what mesmerists are, they follow a lot of the lessons taught by Franz Mesmer, who is contributed as an early spiritualist. Even though spiritualism didn't come till the mid 1800s, Franz Mesmerist did a lot of what spiritualists eventually ended up doing or putting names to it. So if you want to look up an interesting guy, Franz Mesmer and Phineas Quimby, really interesting guys. So those who practice and believe in mesmerism believe that all living things possess an invisible natural force. And in the New Thought movement, not only did they believe in this force in people, but also thoughts contained in the conscious mind had this force. And when somebody were to think something, that would have a force or energy with it, vibration. Our lives are guided and controlled by our thoughts and our actions. Generally, we're not even fully conscious of the thoughts and feelings that we experience in any given day. So this first exercise that I'm going to explain is not what we're going to use the piece of paper and pen towards, but this is something you can do after the lecture or sometime this week or whenever you decide. I think it's just a fun exercise to get into the thinking about the thought pattern that we find ourselves in on a daily basis. I know all of you have experienced bouts of maybe sadness or anger or depression. We're all human and we go through that human experience. So sometimes we're just in a funk and we're just not sure why. But if we analyze our thoughts and the happenstances in our lives, then we're able to kind of track down the pattern of the energy and where it's flowing towards and where it's going towards. And a lot of the time, when we think of a negative or we have a negative thought or something negative happens and therefore having a negative reaction, that energy, that vibration goes in our body and in our mind. And we either feed it or we don't feed it. And I guess the lesson or the point in all of this is to not feed the negative, but feed the positive. Anyways, so the first exercise that you can do at home is important to start with when dealing with manifestation on a grander scale. And this will give a clear thought or clear thinking to your thought patterns on any given day. So you would grab a piece of paper, divide it into 4 columns. Each column should be titled on the top as follows: date, then that's column 1 is the date. Column 2, mood, attitude. Column 3 is positive events. And column 4 is negative events. So at the end of every day, fill them out and do this for 7 to 14 days. I think a week is sufficient, but if you want to even do it for 14 days, I would suggest that as well. But don't think about it, just and don't really, I would say, don't look at your previous notations. Just every day at the end of the day, before you go to bed, just fill it out really quick of just the date, what the day was like, what your mood or attitude was, and then the positive and negative events in it that happened that day. And then once you're done, close it up, put it in a drawer next to your bed maybe, or somewhere else where you would keep it, or by your desk. And after the end of, say, 7 or 14 days, then that's your cue to take a look at all that you have written over that period of time. And then you will see a pattern there. I could surmise what that pattern will be, but I'll let you do it and answer for yourselves. That's one exercise. So it also will show you and give you an analysis of okay, why was my mood so negative that day? Well, look at the positive and negative events. Sometimes it's a lot to do with what happens, or maybe not, but generally a lot of the events in our lives put us into, say, a mood or attitude. So like all living things, thoughts have a force or energy to them. And I'm sure we have noticed days when we were feeling anxiety, anger, or sad. These days seem to only get worse. This is because of the law of attraction. Thoughts are a powerful force that emit energy and will affect not only our minds, but our bodies as well. Through thoughts, words, and deeds, we create our own reality. And I'm sure everyone here would like to live a happy and successful life. We can change your thoughts and actions to a positive. So if your life may be not so happy or successful as you want it, you can change that. But it starts with changing your thoughts. And then by changing your thoughts, you'll change your actions. So the overall goal to put this law into practice and manifest away is to change, alter our thoughts. Sounds simple, right? Probably, maybe not. It seems though right now it's a lot of people are having trouble changing their thoughts. It is challenging. We're all going through our human experience, and we have our trials and tribulations, and it's difficult to step outside of ourselves and be present in that moment to really feel what we're feeling at that moment, and ask ourselves, okay, what do I want to feed into? The negative or positive? You can change your thoughts through meditation, finding a passion, a gratitude journal, or releasing guilt. The Greek Stoic philosopher, I'm going to butcher his name, Epictetus? Maybe Janet can chime in on this one. He stated once, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." What is very known to us in life will throw challenges, and negative things will happen. And in these moments and experiences, it is normal to feel anger and sadness, but at the core of these emotions is an initial choice. It is our choice to feel whatever we want to feel and experience. The crucial lesson to this is to be present at every moment, so that when we are faced with these negative emotions, and sometimes caused by something out of our control, then closing our eyes and breathing calmly, centering ourselves, letting that emotion pass, and not fighting to keep it inside or feed into it, causing a stronger negative frequency that could affect not only our minds, bodies, but others as well. So here's the fun part that we're going to get into, the exercise where we're going to actually manifest. So with your piece of paper and pen or pencil, writing utensil, you're going to think for a moment, or if you don't have a pen or paper, that's okay. Maybe even write it on your phone if you have that, or just quietly think about it in your mind. I want you to write down what you really want. Something or someone, maybe a job, maybe a new home. It could be whatever you desire in your heart. And you write that down. Take a few moments and maybe give me a thumbs up if you got it. But don't, take your time. And this could be, and don't think too much about time frame. Like it is important, like of course it is important. You don't want to pick like in 24 hours I want to find the love of my life. Maybe not so much. Yeah. Or in 24 hours have $1 million. Like that, you got to work within, you know, the universe is like, we'll work with you if you work with us. Okay. So I would say pick something that is doable within either 24 hours or doable in X amount of months or X amount of years or whatever. But pick something that you feel is realistic in the time frame that that you might like it at. All right, so everybody thumbs up. They got something. I know Mary, you're on the phone, but now Courtney, do you need to be filled in what we were doing?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we all wrote down something that we wanted or desired on a piece of paper, and then we're going to go into trying to manifest that for ourselves.
Okay.
So take us another second if you want to.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're okay. And I haven't heard from the Mary, I believe is on the phone. Is that you, Mary? I remember, I recognize 516. If it is you, Mary, that's you don't have to respond. I'm assuming your no response is that you have something. Or she could be.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
That's fine.
And I'm ready, Terence. Thank you.
Okay. Not a problem. You got something on a piece of paper, Sky?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Now, this is my favorite part about manifesting is the visualization of it. So I want everybody to close their eyes, put their pens and paper aside for now. Close your eyes and focus on what you have written down. But don't think about any other details, just the end result of gaining what you want. So no hows or no whens. Just see you getting what you desired, what you want, written on paper already. It's already happened. Now experience it. Maybe the smiles, the laughter gained from it, the love, the immense happiness and joy from gaining this, what you really want and have achieved. So take a few moments and really soak in that feeling. Experience what you desire, what you want happening, unfolding before you. All right. Feeling of that you've gained it, you received it. I hope you seeing it unfold has made you, like, brought a smile to your face, maybe made you laugh, warmed your heart. Okay. So now you're going to fold up your piece of paper. And after the service, you're going to place that somewhere out of the way, maybe even sealing it in a nice envelope. And you're not going to look at it until they come true. Having faith that they will. So just to give you a little side note, in my psychic mediumship class, my class, we all did this manifestation exercise, and I still have my manifestation folded up by my crystals on my shelf. And I can tell you, I wrote 3 manifestations that I wanted, and 2 of them came true already, and within probably a year. So the third one has yet to come true yet, but I know that it will. I see it happening. I can visualize it. I taste, smell. It's tangible to me. So I have faith that it's going to happen. But I haven't looked at that folded piece of paper yet. Okay, so after the service, you're going to put that away, maybe in a book, maybe even just forget about it. But it's going to be there. Anyways, okay, now the next step. So we're going to close our eyes again. Take a few deep breaths in. Really let that feeling of what you desire, having gained it, really let that feeling sink in. And of course, the most important part to gaining a blessing and succeeding in something and gaining what we desire, we should show gratitude. Gratitude for to the universe, to spirit, for providing this blessing on us. So think about what you gain, what you have achieved, what you want and desire. You have it. And the feelings that come with that. Now give gratitude to having received that want, that desire, that blessing. Thank Spirit, the universe, for providing. Thank yourself for all the work, all the effort that you put in to gaining it. You feel like you've climbed a mountain and you've achieved something. So be proud of yourself. All right, and when you're set, when you thank the universe and spirit for providing, what you desire and what you want. Hope you still feel the sensation, the vibration of you getting it. Keep that with you and have faith that it will come true. All right. And so that exercise is one way of manifesting, but there's a lot of different other ways that you can research and look up. I'm going to share my screen right now. And these are some books that I would suggest you take a look at. Some helpful reads, but there's one in particular that I would really recommend. And it's not because it's informative in the sense of that it's like a how-to guide or of manifestation, but it will certainly help you get into the spirit of that. So there's Sarah Prout. I know that Janet probably has that book in her library. Dear Universe is the name of the title there. Then you have The Secret. Now, The Secret, I really enjoy The Secret because it gives you into that train of thought of changing your mindset. It can seem as though it's like a run on of just like, okay, when is it going to get to the secret? But that's the point, is that the secret is in what you read. So it is a book that you really have to commit to and really finish it from beginning to end, and really soak up all the information, because there's a lot in The Secret. Then there's The Untethered Soul by Jefferson Ensinger. It's a little bit more about your spirit, uplifting your spirit. Then if people respond more to fiction than nonfiction, The Alchemist, probably one of my favorite books. I'm sure a lot of you have read it or maybe have heard of it. Paulo Coelho, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Not there yet. The Alchemist is a fictional story about a young boy, and he's on a journey to follow his purpose. And it's really a beautiful story, and it's a lot about manifestation too, and having faith in that what he desires will manifest. So it's a really fast read, and there's a lot of messages in it. It's an extremely spiritual book, so I'd recommend that. And then if those who are more on the philosophy end of the spectrum and want to have something a little bit more of a challenge to their mind, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle is also very well known, very respected. He's a excellent writer and philosopher. But The Power of Now is more about being present in the now. And in order to change our thought patterns, we have to channel and practice being present. And Eckhart Tolle does a beautiful job of describing how to be the power of now and its impact in his book. So these are some reads that I would suggest if you wanted to kind of get more into it. And of course, I'm sure there are more out there. And I'm sure that also after the service ends, Janet may have some recommendations as well. So that's the end of the discussion. And I think I may have everybody's email, but I would love and most of you I see on a regular basis, but I'm going to put my email in the chat box to everybody. And when what you desire have written down and manifested, when it does actually come to fruition, when it actually manifests, please do share it with me. Of course, it would, if you want to have it remain private, that's okay too. But if you care to share it with somebody, I would love to hear it. So there's my email for everybody to have. And I'll wait patiently because I know it's going to happen. It will happen. So I hope you learned a little bit about manifestation. It's a lot to do with changing our thoughts and our thought patterns. So if you just change your thought patterns to a positive, and just feel as though, okay, I'm going to have this is going to happen, then of course you have to put in the work. It's not like you can just be like, okay, I can just sit and do nothing. You got to put it into practice. But you'll see how things are provided to you. Now, a lot of my manifestation, I didn't, one, I had to put in a lot of work. The other one, I didn't have to really do anything but wait. And I waited and I still received it. But I just changed my thought. I was like, I know I'm going to get this. This is going to happen. So, but I believe the work is a lot in changing our thought patterns, the positive. And once we change that to that vibration, then positive just comes our way, right? Because like attracts like. So anyways, that is my spiel, my talk, my lecture, my workshop, I guess. My mini. Ah, okay. Thanks, Mom, for sharing that. Yeah, Debbie wrote in the chat box that this is the second time the secret has come up or been presented to her. So maybe you can borrow mine, Mom. I have one. When you come down in March. So anyways, thank you all for listening to me ramble. And I will share my screen again and we'll talk about what's coming up next for the open doorway. So coming up next, I hope this isn't a surprise, Janet, or you, but upcoming events, we have February 3rd at 7 p.m. will be our next service. This will be a joint service with Reverend Janet Harrington, who it has been a while since it's been a while since we've done a service together. And I'm looking forward to it, Janet. And you're going to give us a talk too. Mm-hmm. So it will. When was the last time you did a service? We co-conducted a service together. It must have been some time ago. You can unmute your mic at this point, if everybody wants to.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I think the last time was in Brooklyn in person when we met together. So that's a long time.
Yeah. It's been
On the other hand, I used to do it once a month and we worked together. So
yes.
that was lovely.
And
I look forward to this one.
Yes. It's been over a year for sure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well,
we did get together on Zoom for a message circle. We
Okay,
did share
yes.
that space.
But first
But,
service. Yeah.
not first service.
Mhm,
I look
Yeah.
forward to this.
mhm. And Janet also did services with Paul too before his transition. And I jokingly would say that they're the 1-2 punch of Paul and Janet. The 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Paul would
May
get
I
the
add
message
something
and
to
Janet
that?
would piggyback, and Janet would get
Yeah.
the message and Paul would piggyback that one. I'm sure
Yeah.
Abby probably remembers those what the 1-2 punch of Janet and Paul. And Shimmy as well.
Yeah. But you and I did it too towards the end.
Yes, we did too. All right, the next service after that will be February 21st at 5 p.m. That is a Sunday, as opposed to February 3rd, which will be a Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Wednesday.
February 3rd at 7 p.m. That's the Wednesday one, and that's with Janet Arrington as my co-minister. Circle's coming
Okay.
up January 29th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and then we got one after that, which will be February 12th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. The co-conductors will be announced at a later date. I'm still scheduling out those circles as we speak. So you'll find out if you're on the newsletter or on any of our social media of who those will be. If you cannot wait till January 29th or February 12th, we will have a in-person circle at the New Awakening in Port Jarvis, New York. This is January 23rd at 4:30 p.m. There's only 8 spots available. So if you want to come up to Port Jarvis, if you got a car, or maybe if you want to take New Jersey Transit all the way to the end of the line on the Port Jarvis line, I take it once a month, and it's really relaxing and scenic. It's about 2.5 hours, so you can put a movie on a laptop, or even get a book or a couple books and read it on the way. It's a fun ride. You can come up to Port Jarvis on January 23rd. We'll have a circle, and I will be conducting that by myself. I am also doing private readings too in person on the January 22nd and January 23rd. I think January 23rd may be already booked for the day, but you can call Awakening and find out. But I know I'm available January 22nd for in-person readings at Awakening, which is at 85 Pike Street in Port Jarvis, New York. So if you'd like to see me in the flesh, I'm going to be there. All right. Thank you all for joining us, and we're going to end the service with a quick prayer. So just close your eyes, take a few deep breaths in with me. Air in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Really digest and soak in all the healing energy that we receive from Mother Ocean, all the healing energy that we've received just being together as a community in prayer. Soak up some wisdom that we learn about manifesting, and keep feeling and knowing and experiencing what you want and desire unfolding, coming forth and coming true. Divine Parent, thank you for blessing us, this community of the open doorway. Thank you for granting us the ability to come together in prayer and worship of your divine light and love. May us be invoked, may this wisdom and love be invoked and being instilled in our hearts as we go forth and live our life full of positive thoughts, positive actions, and faith, knowing that what we desire and what we want will be given to us. In your loving light and love, we thank you. Amen. Thank you all for joining. It's always a pleasure having everybody here. I'm sorry if there was, I felt like that some people might have gotten kicked out and came back in. But don't worry, I have my eyes open to make sure that I let people in.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi,
you.
Amanda.
Hi, Janet.
It's nice to see
Thank
you
you,
again.
Terence, for all your blessing and your help. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary.
Be blessed.